You went on a short trip via airplane. You didn't check any bags. You just had your carry-on. You're on your way home. It's 4 a.m. in the morning. You hit that red eye. You've arrived back. Let's say you're arriving in Atlanta. You're in an Uber. Cars are stopped. Whoever's on the highway is stopped. Everybody's stopped. You notice there's no lights on in the distance. There's no street lights on. Everything's stopped. It's just everything. Time has stopped. You realize something's gone down. You need to get home. And you only got what you took with you to the airport. So, what do?
As far as kit goes, what do you think maybe the 3 most important things in my kit are for this scenario?
Clothing and water.
Number 1 for me.
Yeah, water. Water I feel like is probably number 1. Yep. Okay, what would be the second one?
You need a barrier layer, man.
Yeah, protection from the elements. Yeah,
thermal regulation.
Some sort of shelter. Number 2 on my list is going to be this right here: a spare pair of socks. Comfortable shoes. You do not take care of your feet, you will be done. That is the end of you. You will stop moving, and then you are where you are, and hopefully that's in a good spot. What do you think number 3 is for longer distance movement? Multiple days.
24 hours. Map, compass. Where am I going?
Sort of alert.
Okay. Yeah. Number 3 on my list is going to be calories, because if you're not replacing the electrolytes, the salts, the potassiums, the proteins, the fats, the carbohydrates in your body, you're going to bonk. Just like we talked about with the socks, your feet not working, you will be stuck again.
Obviously, most of us here are into survival and prepping of some nature, right? So we will naturally carry some things on us that obviously would help in this situation. As for me, I've got ferrocerium rod and a magnesium rod and a striker from Grim Survival. Got a grill. I always keep a grill. No water. We got to find and source our water. A pair of extra socks, and I got an extra shirt. Tarp, hammock, go together. I carry them together. So yeah, we're going to see what happens. 24 hours. Starting right now.
Basically, if I was sensing that something was troublesome behind me, I would take off into the woods, and I would make a big J, and I would come back around, and I would get behind cover and concealment. And then, if whoever was following me kept going, no problem. But if they follow me in the direction that I went, then I know they're up to no good, and I need to plan. I could tuck off 10 yards over there, and no one would see me from here.
So we took us a little break, found us water source. Everybody got hydrated and filled up any containers that they chose. I guess we're fixing to hit the road again.
Where is it?
All right, on the road again. Feet got a little wet. I got a 22-pound pack right now. I'm sweating like a pig.
Yeah. You always have to kind of anticipate where you're going to be spending the night. There's no perfect camp spot. Don't pass up a good spot anticipating there's going to be a better one down the road somewhere. Chances are there won't be. It's going to be worse. Take advantage of your spots and be kind of looking out. If it was starting to get dark, and I needed to rest up for the evening, start looking for your spot. Again, this might be private property, all right? We don't know who lives here. We just need a place to sleep for the night. Here's the goal. You need to be able to see this road. You need to be able to see me as I walk down this road, but I need to not be able to see you. That's the challenge. This is a pretty sneaky spot. So I'd be like, all right, cool. And I would just duck off into here. And because of the thickness of the vegetation, I wouldn't have to go more than 20 yards that way. And there's no way you'd see me. No possible way. Even if you were looking for me, you wouldn't see me 20 yards into the thicket of that. When we pick out our camp spots, you still got to be careful for widowmakers. You still want to stay off of game trails. You still want to not be camping on an ant hill. But this wouldn't be a terrible spot. But again, I'd want more vegetation between me and the road so I could be a little bit more discreet.
He's got his hammock there, and I've got mine over here. But what we did, instead of being parallel with the road with our shelter, we are perpendicular to it because we're hanging from trees. We're not low to the ground. so to keep that vantage point straight and it'd be harder to see from the road.
The water is so important. We should have at least a couple ways to make it safe to drink. I like the Grail. That's just me. I like water purification tablets that I keep in my belt. I have enough tablets in my belt to treat 2.5 gallons of water, which is enough in my experience to get me a long ways down the road. In a spot like this, I would dig my way that direction into the hill, like parallel to the ground there, level with the ground, and then I would dig my way down. And what that does is it creates a chimney. So I would connect this hole to this hole, and I'd have about a foot of space in between it, and it creates a chimney so the fire can draft. And it's able to breathe, and the more it can breathe, the less it's going to smoke. I want you to get me a fire going. I want you to make it as super sneaky and stealthy as you possibly can.
All right, so I got me some somewhat dry sticks. I got some smalls and mids here. And at the moment, I found some fat lighter. I've got my little ceramic blade that was in my belt from Wazoo. I'm scraping some fat lighter. So duct tape will actually burn a lot longer than you think it will. Let it do its thing here. Yeah, buddy. So the goal here is to be a stealthy fire. So I got one just big enough for a container to sit on and plenty hot to boil water. That's a little water boiler right there. Now we're setting up camp. JJ's over here staring at me. He's got his hammock set up right there. Got mine. Gabe's over there setting up his shelter. Can't see anybody else. We're all spread out through these woods. See you in the morning. Almost 11 o'clock. So get hunkered down in here and hopefully get a good night's rest. Good night, y'all. Love you, me. See you tomorrow.